What is up, everyone? StonePost34 bringing you more Growing Up with StonePost, and this one's going to be a little risque, but I always fail on this grenade. I'm always a second early, and that's not a prelude to my stories, but I was thinking about, growing up with StonePost, what can I do? I don't want to be too risque because I know I have some younger viewers, but I think I can get through this without being too revealing, and I'll share some personal stuff with you guys, but having fun with Black Ops 2, I got to tell you, I've kind of changed my mindset. I'm not trying to be the Slayer. I'm just trying to run around, be a bit of a douchebag, and just have fun and try to keep, 1.0 KD. I'm not running real high kill streaks because I get more frustrated, more stressed out. So I'm just trying to have fun with it. I don't know where you guys are at on the game. I've heard lots of different things, mostly bad, which sucks because Call of Duty is fun. Anyway, today's Growing Up with StonePost is going to be about sex in public places. Now, some of you are not old enough to have sex, and let me share with you, I've never shared on any of my videos this before, but I didn't lose my virginity until I turned 18. I had plenty of opportunities. I almost lost my girlfriend because of it. I just decided, I wasn't ready. I wasn't feeling it. It has to be a mutual, for me, it had to be a mutual decision. I don't know, some people have like crazy, I've dated girls that are like, oh yeah, I was 14. I'm like, you were what, 14? I mean, come on. That's a bit ridiculous. I think it's different for everyone, but 14, 15, I'm like, okay, I don't, you mess around, do whatever you want, but to actually like lose the big V, I think that's a little young. But anyway, leave me a comment, let me know what you think. So sex in public places. Okay, so I lost my virginity. I was at my parents' house. They were asleep. My girlfriend, Blanca, from Spain, was in town. I bought her a plane ticket. She stayed with us that summer. We had dated the year before. Well, we dated the year, my junior year, and then my senior year, she lived in Madrid. I lived in Kansas, and we still kind of dated. I say kind of dated because we had a little bit of a rough patch in there. But anyway, that's a whole other story. So I go to Spain, and this is a really campy move. Sorry, guys. I head to Spain, and we stay with her parents. I was there for about 6 weeks. The first 2 weeks, I stayed in her parents' flat with her and her sisters and her younger brother, Chispy. We stayed in Madrid. Okay, so you can imagine we just spent all this time. We had a lot of freedom. We had places we could go. I had buddies that had apartments. I mean, we could go wherever we wanted and kind of take care of our sexual frustrations. Okay, so we're living with her parents in a condo. It's like they call them flats in downtown Madrid. Her father's a military guy, kind of a dickhead. Didn't speak much English, and I didn't speak a whole lot of Spanish. But anyway, so him and I never really got along. I mean, obviously I was there, I was in the house, blah, blah, blah. But we never really talked. And so, I mean, oh my gosh, you just can't imagine I don't have the hormones like I had back then, but the amount of frustration and, just like, oh, God, we got to get together. We got to get together. So 2 stories out of this. The first story is Blanca says, let's go to the park and we're going to have a picnic. And I'm like, super, let's do this. Let's have a picnic. That sounds like fun. Let's get out of the house. We can take a blanket. We can, make out, whatever, hold hands. So we head to this park in downtown Madrid. And we have lunch. And we'd lay down on the blanket, and we're near a tree. We're like under this, all I remember is kind of a little tree. It wasn't a huge tree. And it's during the weekday, during the summer. So a lot of people in Europe take long vacations, not like a week. They'll take like 2 to 3 weeks and go to the south of Spain or go to France or just different places. So it wasn't real busy. Next thing I know, Blanca's like, I want to have sex. And I'm like, whoa. We are, I don't know if you realize this, we're outside in a public place. And she's like, I really do. And I'm like, I don't know how we're going to do this. She goes, just trust me. And I'm like, okay, so have you done this before? I don't think she had. But so she was wearing, and this is the funny part of the story, she was wearing her sister's like denim blue jeans. And I was wearing just like a pair of sports shorts because I think I was going to go play basketball with her brother later. And so wearing some sports shorts, and she's got this. Well, she like cuddles up to me, gets on top of me, and commences to do the deal. And then we switch, and blah blah blah. That's probably too much information. So it worked out okay, and I'm like, all right, kind of needed that. So we head back to her flat. I go play basketball with her brother. She did something with her sisters. Well, the funny part of the story comes up like 2 days later. Now, 2 days later, her sister's getting ready to do her laundry, and Elena, it was her sister. She was, I think, a year and a half younger than Blanca. Elena is like getting ready to do her laundry and pulls the shorts out that Blanca was wearing. And no, it's not what you think. But there's grass stains all on the inside of the shorts, like on the inside, not the outside. And Elena's like, what? And I can't do a really good Spanish accent. Was yelling at her in English so her dad didn't hear about the stains in the shorts. So Blanca came clean and was like, we were in the park and blah, blah, blah. So that's my first story. My second story, we almost got, we did kind of get caught. So they had this flat, and in these flats, because they're all pretty much finished out, there's no real storage. So like the basements, and like in New York, this is still the case, but like the basements in these flats were caged off storage units. And so this was like the next week. It's hard. I remember hormones when I was 18, 19, 20. I still have them a little bit, but not like back then. It is hard to just keep your hands off of one another. And I know my girls are going to go through it. I'm trying to prepare myself for that. But so she's like, let's go downstairs and do the deal in the storage unit. I'm like, what? I'd never seen it. I didn't know what she was talking about. So we go down there, and literally it's like these caged off padlocks, like chain link. So you can see through them. There's no privacy. You can see what everyone has stored in their units. There's no privacy. And so we go down there, and there's just a ton of crap in the storage unit. And no one's down there. She grabbed the keys out of the drawer up in the kitchen. And so we go down there and commence. And literally within like 10 minutes, like some old lady comes down there in the storage unit. And we're like hiding and trying to be like super quiet. And it kind of worked. She left. I don't know if she knew what was going on. She may have known. I don't know. We didn't really care. She didn't know who Blanca was, didn't know who I was. And so, another 10, 15 minutes go by, and we leave. Okay, here's the worst part. We leave. Now, there's only one way in the storage unit. There's like a grand staircase that's outside at the flat. And then, like, to get to the storage unit, you have to go outside the basement. You can't go inside the building. So Blanca and I walk outside to head up the stairs. Guess who's standing there waiting for us? He wasn't really waiting there. He'd just gotten off work and was coming home for lunch or something. I don't even know. It was her dad. The problem is, you can imagine what we looked like. We looked like we just ran a half mile. And he's like, "What are you guys doing?" And Blanca made up some story about how she was looking for something in the basement to show me from her childhood. I don't even know. She was speaking in Spanish, and I spoke average Spanish at the time. So he never really said anything, but I think we kind of got busted on that one. I'm not really sure. But, guys, those are my two public stories. I hope it wasn't too risque, because I kind of feel like it might have been. But anyway, guys, kind of enjoying the game. Just try to go 1.0 on my KD, and I'm happy. So take care as always, guys. This is Stonepost 34.
Extra complete RTP.